Welcome to Ringside Riffs by Andres Cortes. Let me tell you that the King of the Ring tournament has finally come through. Saudi Arabia has finally put on a great show after destroying what seemed to be wrestling. And let me start by the ladies had to cover up everything. Yes, we saw in every match we got to see, starting with Liv Morgan against Becky Lynch. And guess what? We have a new champion. It was, I think, one of the best matches of the night, and the night couldn't have started off with a bang as we got to see Liv Morgan get that title shot, and not only that, but live up to the hype and be able to be the new women's champion. And we got to see some interference with Dom Mysterio, giving her a chair and giving her more storylines. And that's definitely what Liv Morgan needs nowadays, is more storylines to continue to build up on what she has established herself as a dominant woman, a dominant force, and a great factor for the WWE. So let me establish this. The King of the Ring established Liv Morgan not only as a great champion, but as a great heel and as a great story maker to continue to see. We also got to see another great brewing match as the Kurt Angle saga continues, with Chad Gable looking like he is here to stay, to become this heel. He kicked out Maxine and was like, Otis, just come with me and let's see what happens. And what we got to see was Bronson Reed, Sami Zayn, and Chad Gable put on a showing. Because if this wasn't the match of the night, then it could have been. The men put on a showing, and the twists and turns continue so that the Alpha Academy continues to build on with that heat. We can only expect to see what happens with Chad Gable and anything, but if you did not guess it, then guess right now that Sami Zayn returned, and we can only wait to see when Sami Zayn will lose that title, because Sami Zayn, I do not expect him to have a long title run. So these three men put on a great showing. Bronson Reed, I applaud you for doing your thing, for doing your impressive maneuvers, and for giving everybody the powerhouse build-up that they all needed. It looked like Chad Gable lifted up over 500 pounds of men, and now that has been betrayed by Otis, we might be expecting a match between Alpha Academy and see what happens. Who is the followers and what happens with Sami Zayn? We will continue to build up on that storyline as he well deserves this shining spot. Now, the Queen of the Ring was determined, and the Queen was here to establish herself. Nia Jax won, but we can not only take that away, we can take away that Nia Jax has definitely been dominating, has been pushed, has been in almost every match ever since she came back to day one Raw. So we can only establish that Nia Jax as Queen of the Ring will take on that SummerSlam contract, will become the WWE Women's Champion, and we might still expect what is happening with Charlotte Flair. When will we see Charlotte Flair? When will we see some other WWE divas take her on, as we know that Rhea Ripley is injured? So we need to big pushes. Right now is the time for pushes for Nia Jackson. In other news, Gunther was the one who established himself as King of the Ring. He is the one that Randy Orton was beaten by. And this kind of match was kind of a slobber knocker. A lot of people online are talking bad about it. They're saying that it was not a great establishment. We could have determined that what we saw is was not good. Why? Because Gunther was kind of sloppy. Randy Orton was kind of sloppy. The controversial outcome and pin of what we saw at the end, we got to see something that was not what we expected. We got to see something that is not what we wanted. A roll up pin where the shoulders weren't even touching the mat, and that is how we crowned and celebrated Gunther to be the champion. Now, if anything, we're gonna dispute what we saw, but this just pushes Randy Orton's storyline, and it might put him in cold standards, meaning there is nothing else to build upon, and now we're only going to focus on what we are going to see between what we see between Cody Rhodes and Gunther. Now that the Gunther has established himself as King of the Ring, now that Gunther has been able to prove himself as main event caliber, we saw that Triple H also made an announcement. It is now official. Damian Priest against Drew McIntyre. And if you guys haven't believed this is the agenda, Drew McIntyre will face CM Punk. Now, lastly, Logan Paul finally put on a great showing against Cody Rhodes. We all knew he wasn't going to take the title away from him, but we did expect one thing. Will this prove to be Logan Paul's match to prove himself as a high caliber main event actual personnel that can challenge for the WWE Championship? And if anything, we got to see some viral moments, some high cast action, and some non-stop thrilling moments where every single impact was highly expected. So if you did not watch the match, definitely watch it because it is going to be everywhere in the internet for what it had. So I applaud you, Mr. Logan Paul, for what you have done for the wrestling community, for the exposure you have given to, and for Cody Rhodes for being able to perform, retain, and continue to build up his push as the whole Saudi Arabia nation was behind him, screaming and saying thank you for watching.